Okay, sorry about that. I forgot to put do not disturb on my phones because my phone just, notifications and stuff start notifying me. Anyway, we're still dealing with domestic violence on because October is Domestic Violence Month, along with cancer. Um, Tonight topic is going to be kind of interesting, um, dealing with domestic violence. Hey, Lena. So tonight's topic is going to be um, about what do you do when God didn't answer your prayers, when God didn't fix your marriage, when God didn't um, come through like you thought He should come through. Like, what do you do? Like, what was your solution when you prayed and you prayed to God to stop the domestic violence, to stop, um, to heal him, to fix him, or to fix her? Like, what do you do? What did you do? Did you question God? Did you question your faith? Did you question your prayer group? Because a lot of times when you are dealing with domestic violence, you'll find that one person that will pray with you, that and yeah, pray for a miracle. But what happens when you felt like God didn't deliver the situation like you felt like He should have? Like he should have fixed it because we got kids involved. He should have fixed it because we're in covenant with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, He should have fixed this. What do you do? What do you do when you feel like God should have fixed your marriage? What do you do? What do you do when you feel like God should have, because y'all both was in church and y'all both was serving in ministry, y'all both was laying before God? What do you do when the monster come out in domestic violence? And you prayed and you fast and you turn your plate over. Uh, you went to your pastor, he's praying for you. But what do you do when you feel like God did not answer your prayer? What do you do? We're still dealing with domestic violence, but the topic is, what do you do when you felt like God did not answer your prayers? I'm going to bring my daughter on because this is a great subject for her. So let me tag my daughter because I think, hope this don't make it go out. I think I try to add you, Anya. But the question is, like, what do you do when you feel like God did not deliver your marriage, when He cheated on you, when He beat you, when He verbally abused you, when He's physical? Like, what do you do when you feel like um, that God didn't answer your requests? What do you do? This is a heavy topic because it's like, what do you do? What do you do? Because I fast, I pray, I lay before God, I I sought God, you know what I'm saying? And I just knew that God was going to uh, deliver my marriage. I just knew that God was going to heal what was broken. Like, I just knew because I believed in God. But what do you do when He did not, when you feel like He did not come through for you? What do you do? I'm just is I'm just I think you got to say hi or something. is not letting me. Because as I said, like I lay before God. I laid on my face prosperous, was like, God, um, I know you're going to do this, God. I know you're going to heal me, God. I know you're going to deliver, God. I know you're going to fix it because I believe in you, and God, I know you're going to do it. But what do you do when he bring home kids that's not yours? What do you do? Do you blame God, or do you just, what do you do? What do you do? Because it's so many times, like we don't have the answers. We don't have the answers. It's like, because Brenda felt like God should have fixed her marriage. Why? Because I served in ministry. I served the audio board for years. Like I served on the youth board. I served in the children's ministry. I served. I served in the kitchen. I served in that area. I served in that area. Like I served. So I just knew that God was going to fix my marriage. But the part was when I felt like God did not fix my marriage, it was a big letdown for me. It was a major letdown for me because I trusted and I believed it in God. When he brought kids home, that was like, bam. But I was like, God, why? Why would you do this to me, God? God, why? Why would you allow this to happen to me? Why, God, why? We're still dealing with domestic violence. So do we blame God for the domestic violence, or who do we blame? Who do we blame for domestic violence? Do we blame God, or do we blame the abuser? Because a lot of times in church, I think we started to blame God because we feel like God did not come through when we felt like he should come through. Like, so who do we blame? Who do we blame when there's divorce on the table and we both are serving in ministry and we both are serving God and we both are faith believers? Who do we blame for this? We're still dealing with domestic violence. Like, who do we blame? Who do we blame when he beats her? Who do we blame when he cheats on us? Who do he blame when he verbally, like, who do you blame? When he psychologically mess with your mind. Like, do we blame God or do we blame him? But you praying and you fasting and you believe in God. Who do you blame? What do we do? What do we do? And I think that's the soul search. Like, who do we want to blame? Are we the victim or are we the victor? What are we? Because so many, and I'll be honest, so many times I blamed God because I just knew God was going to deliver my marriage. I just knew God was going to fix this. I just knew it without a shadow of doubt. I just knew God was going to fix it. I just knew it. I just knew it. No, he don't have kids on me, kids with the S. You know what I'm saying? He don't cheated on me so many times to where I couldn't even tell you how many times he cheated. But who do we blame? I mean, we go to church and, we talk to the pastor, and pastor said, just hold on. God is going to deliver. And we hold to that faith. We hold to that. Do we blame the pastor for telling us to hold on? That change is on the way? So here is my question to you. Did God ordain the marriage or did you ordain the marriage? That's a big question. Did God ordain the marriage or did you ordain the marriage? Because I knew I wasn't supposed to marry him. I knew it. I knew it. I remember walking down, and this is just me being honest with y'all. I remember walking down the aisle and was like, God, let something happen, let him fall out, let him just collapse to where we don't have to get married. Like, those were signs that I wasn't supposed to be there, but I went through it anyway. Because pressure will make a person burst. Because I had pressure. I had pressure on both ends. You should do it. You got a baby by him. You should do it. You should do it. You should do it. Go ahead and do it, girl. Don't be afraid. Go ahead. And I did it. But did God say yes? So it goes back to, like, who do you blame? Do you blame yourself? Do you blame God? Do you blame your pastor? Who do you blame when God didn't answer your prayer? That you felt like God should have answered your prayer and God did not answer your prayer. Who do you blame? Who do you blame? Like, this is something, like, we really need to, like, soul search. Like, when you know you're not supposed to do something, you do it anyway. So I would have to ask myself, did I put this on me myself? Did I put this domestic violence on me myself? Because I knew I was out of the will of God when I married him. I knew it. I knew it. Matter of fact, I knew it in my second marriage. I knew that wasn't God. I knew it. I knew it. Matter of fact, the day my second marriage that we got married, I was in the room watching cartoons while they was waiting on me to come and get married. So did I self-inflict pain on myself? We're still dealing with domestic violence. Did I self-inflict pain on myself to where when God, there were signs. God gave me signs. There's always warning before destruction. The Bible says it. There's always warning before destruction. Always warning before destruction. I did not take heed to the warning of God. I did not. I did not. I didn't. Who do I blame? Who do I blame? Do I blame God for being in a domestic violence relationship when he didn't answer my prayers? I'm just saying. We're still dealing with domestic violence. We're still dealing with it. We're still dealing with domestic violence. We're still dealing with it. Who do you blame when God didn't answer your prayer? Who do we blame? Who do we blame? I blamed God. I did. I blamed God. I blamed God because I felt like God should have came through for me. God should have had my back. It seemed like the more I served in ministry, the worse it got on both marriages. And my second husband, like, he didn't abuse me. But the worse the situation got. And I think we misconstrue the scripture where it says it's better to marry than to burn. And I did that in my second one. Like, I took that scripture and was like, well, God, I'm dating him. You know, we living together. I'm honest with my stuff. We're living together. I don't want to go to hell. You know, God, so you said in your word, God, it's better to marry than to burn. And I'll be as honest as I was riding down the street, and I was riding down Michigan Road on a Sunday morning, and I didn't have to serve that morning. And I remember God saying, excuse me, I remember God saying, why again are you marrying him? Tell me, why again are you marrying? I said, God, because you said in your word, it's better to marry than to burn. God said, why again are you marrying him? Why again? Why? I I I don't know. So I would have to ask you, what do you do when God didn't come through? When God didn't answer your prayers? When you felt like he beat it. He stomped me one night so bad to where blood was shooting out of my eyes. And the more I called on Jesus, it seemed like the worse it got. I know that's probably a little out there, but I'm being honest with you. And I think if I don't be honest with you or ask the question, I think we'll still stay stuck in this. And that's not where I want to be, because I want to help people. What do you do when God didn't answer your prayer? What do you do? We're still dealing with domestic violence. And yeah, I'm accepting it, but I don't know what's going on. It's saying add it, but it's not allowing me to add. Hey, Bernetta, can you help me? She probably ain't gonna come. She's not feeling good, so there's a request. Hold on, Anya. It says, can I bring Anya on? There is already a guest in broadcast. What is this? I had to get Bernetta to help me. I don't know how to do it, y'all. So I have to have Bernetta to help me. Sorry, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. So I have to ask my daughter. So, um, again, what do you do when God didn't answer your prayers? What do you do? Is it because it's on Do Not Disturb? Sorry, yeah. I'm trying to bring my daughter in because I think my daughter has a lot to give to this conversation. Uh, okay. So anyway, hopefully I can bring her in. So, what do you do? What do you do? I'm I'm stuck right there. What do you do when God didn't answer your prayer? Or you felt like God didn't answer? Or did you want God to really answer your prayer? But then why was you praying for God to save your marriage when he was abusing you? Yeah. Why? Why do you think people pray that prayer? I'm asking my other daughter until I can get my other daughter in.
Most women don't want him to go to nobody else because they're scared of maybe him treating them better than he treated you. That's my opinion.
That's good because and we do that as women
Mm-hmm.
because we think, okay, if he, I just, there you go. Hey, Bernice, I'm glad I brought you in
Hey,
because
Kayla.
uh,
I just want to make sure it worked. Don't put me
no,
on the spot.
I am going to put you on the spot, Bernice, because you went through this with your mom and dad. And I hate to put everybody on spot because as kids, did you pray that God would fix it?
Cease the marriage. Yes, cease the marriage. No, not fix it, but for it to be over. I sure did.
Wow.
For the better wealth of everybody. Yeah, I did. Because I was always a natural problem solver. So that was the best way I seen for it to be. Because, I mean, like I said, your spiritual leaders, your mentors, your peers in the church that we spent, what, 3-4 days out the week around, they're not always at that time advising you. Um,
To
I felt like advising you to what was safe and healthy for your life, for yourself, and your own well being for you and your children.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did.
Thank you for, I mean, but thank you for your honesty because, I prayed that God would fix it, and as kids, because you was in it, you know what I'm saying, is that you prayed totally different, and Bernetta shared the other day that she was ready for it to be over, so yeah, so God answered your prayer.
Yeah. Well, it took a lot of strength on my mom's part to kind of just uh, put how she felt first over how um, her spiritual leader at that time felt. I wanna always say it in the most respectful manner, because it's not that, it's always to me just due to a lack of knowledge. It's kind of it's like a generational curse thing, and then a lot of it is brainwashing. So a lot of times your leader could be, been as much as brainwashed. It's like everybody. It's kind of a sad situation. It's not like it's nobody's fault individually. You can't blame anybody. There are blessings that come out the situations, but I think when it becomes unhealthy or unsafe, that's when you need to consider, even like, it's like you never hear about separation or reconciliation or getting away from, you never hear about it's like, no, you stay in it right now through your struggle. No, give them some space. Let them get out a little bit. Let's separate now and figure out if we can come back, instead of making it so hostile and like you just begin to hate each other. And then because you feel entrapped in this marriage, because you feel like you're going to hell if you divorce. Um,
There you go, Bernie.
you know,
There you
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say it
No,
wrong.
no, no, no.
I always want to be
Because
respectful, but
because because that is so right. Because the guilt trip of and first of all, I'm not bashing church. I love church. I'm
Mhm.
going to church in the morning. I am a faith believer. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I think they put the pressure on. If you get out this situation, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
And
that's
you definitely don't want to say you served the Lord for 25 years and you walk away from a marriage and you think you're going to hell. Like, you don't want that feeling on you. So
right.
it's a hard, very hard feeling.
And I think me and you have this dialogue conversation all the time where the Bible says study to show yourself approved. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of people don't
Hmm.
study the Bible for themselves to, you know, and I hate to get theological in here, to see if I qualify for a divorce.
Right.
Because nobody gets married to get a divorce. Nobody.
No, not at all. Especially after, like in your case, what, 6 kids? I mean, like 6, 7 kids, 15, 20 years. Um, you got your church community. You guys have built this life together, homes, cars, like you said, extra babies, all the extramarital affairs. Like, that's a lot to just say I'm gonna walk away from because you've already dealt with so much and went through so much. But I mean, What can you do?
I have a
I
question.
do say that whoever is your spiritual leader and your advisor at the time, you need to make sure they have your best interest heart as a woman. I think that's why I really love Bishop T.D. Jakes the most, because with him having daughters and him respecting his mom and his wife so much,
Right.
even within being a man, a whole man with mistakes or whatever, you stand for yourself as a woman, like 10 toes down. Like, what is best for you as a woman, a strong Black woman? What should you do right now? What should you do later? What's the healthiest for you? Get out, do something for yourself. Think of yourself, because, not only that, I think that they have restricted women. They had restricted women so much that if the husbands walked away, you almost took everything with you, because they couldn't work, they couldn't go to school, um, they couldn't have any extra friends and groups, and they got all
Right.
kind of mother mommy groups. I mean, you just didn't have no built circle. So if you walked away from your husband, you walked away from everybody that you knew. That
Right.
was all you had. So you didn't have none. You got to go into a shelter or go stay with your mom or your sister when you walk away from your husband, because you wasn't able to build. I'm a feminist. I don't want to go in deep into that, but you wasn't able to do anything for yourself to make yourself a whole woman
And
through
I,
that
and
whole
I
marriage.
respect
So
that, and your mom is one of my biggest role model. Like, I mean, I still to this day, like, actually, I still go to my auntie for everything. You know what I'm saying? I go to her for advice. I go to her for wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So I call her, like, to say, yo, auntie, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the dialogue and the connection that I didn't lose that from her. You know what I'm saying? Because even in her, and I don't want to give auntie's testimony, but to see her to still have strength and still, believe in God and still serve God. So I appreciate her, and I appreciate you for
yeah,
being the great mother that you are to my little cousins. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't
yeah,
let that situation kill you.
no.
I have a question.
So Bernetta has a question.
It actually created a monster.
We're gonna get you some cancer. Bernetta has a question. What's your question, Bernetta?
Okay, so you said that you prayed for him, right? You prayed that he would stay or whatever,
Yes.
and that
Well,
that
I prayed
your
that God will clean him up.
but and that your spiritual mentors also told you pray for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as you pray for him and you basically pray for him to stay, did you pray for his spirit to stay as well, or did you pray for his spirit to leave? That was not God.
That's a good question. I did not. I did not pray. I'll just be honest with you, because back then I didn't know how to pray. I knew how to
Yeah.
pray on a certain level, but to be specific of what I needed from
To know how to pray for somebody else too, while you mad at them, that's a gift.
that's a whole totally different gift. You know what I'm saying? That like that was hard. Like, yeah, that was really really hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I prayed that God will fix him.
Yeah.
But why am I praying that God to fix him when I needed God to fix my mind so my mind could exit the
Yes.
premises?
Because you got children
I had children that were
that need to be
involved.
taken care of. And the strength of the mom is a lot of reason why they are withheld even through divorces and marriages. It's the strength of the mother. So
I think but
even as
I
he's
was
going go up and
lucky to
down.
have a father because my biological father died a month. He was killed a
Right.
month before I was born. So I
Hmm.
was stuck on that ideal of my kids having a father because I had already had one child out of wedlock, and that pressure that church was putting on me, and I can't even blame church. The pressure that I put on
Yeah.
myself that I didn't want, and I was pregnant again. I was having, my Bernetta, and I didn't want to look bad in church, and I didn't want the pressure of her growing up without a father. You know what I'm saying? I didn't plan on having thousands of kids, but I did. You know what I'm saying? But I'm grateful for all my kids because to see who they all are, out of all my kids,
Right.
everybody has graduated but one, and she graduates in December. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Right.
major. You know what I'm saying? But when he left, I felt like changes was being broken, and God was answering my prayers. Cause I would sometimes we can pray the wrong prayer, and I know they said theologically there is no wrong prayer. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes there is. I feel like sometimes there is wrong prayers because we're praying for something that first God did not ordain.
Yeah, not knowing how to pray because you just want it to be right, and you got all these people judging you,
It's
and
not it's not so much as them judging me. It's just that I judge myself.
yeah, we are hard on ourselves more than anybody could be.
I judge myself. Oh, my auntie just jumped on. Oh, I want to bring my auntie. Auntie, can I please bring you on? The conversation is, what do you do when you feel like God did not answer your prayer in dealing with domestic violence as far as your marriage?
Your mom.
Oh, I want to bring auntie on so bad.
You can feel free to.
Yeah, I think she had to go. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So I appreciate you, Bernie, for for joining me. I'm about to end this because I have a sick big baby, 2 sick big babies here.
Oh yeah.
And I have to take care of them. But I appreciate y'all. But that's a question, to ask. What do you do when you feel like God did not answer your prayer?
Sit down.
What did
Yep.
you do? You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for, tuning in, joining me. I appreciate you, Bernie. You rock.
Anytime, cuz.
You my little
Anytime.
little sister. I love you, Bernie.
Love you too.
I love them kids too.
Yeah, they'll be to see you real soon.
Especially the one that look just like me. I love you.
Right.
All right.
Already know.
All right, Bernie. All right, guys. So I'm not gonna be on here much longer. Like I'm done talking. I'm not a talker. But anyway, yeah. What do you do when you feel like God didn't answer your prayer? What do you do? Let me try this one more time to get my daughter on here. I can't add it. Hold on. Let me see if I can add my daughter one more time. So the question is, what do you do when you feel like God did not answer your prayer in your marriage? Like your marriage just went crazy and you kept praying and fasting and it didn't work. What do you do? Thank everybody for tuning in. I'm praying that everybody will find the answers that they need. Don't be afraid to walk. Don't be afraid to stand up. And don't be afraid to keep asking God for the right answers. Don't be afraid. Because if it didn't work, does not mean God did not answer that prayer. It was just, there's a time and there's a season. Know your season. Know your season. I tell everybody, know your season. Know your season. What has God called you? Know your season. Know your season. I love everybody. Grace and peace be unto you. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, domestic violence sucks. Love you.